We all talk about willpower, right? That inner drive that helps you grind through a tough workout or, just avoid hitting the snooze button. But what if I told you it wasn't just some vague personality trait? What if it was an actual physical part of your brain that you could train, just like a muscle? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to break down the AMCA protocol and show you how to literally build your willpower. Okay, so let's start with a little puzzle. I want you to picture two types of people. First, think about superagers. These are folks in their 80s or 90s whose minds are just as sharp as people half their age. Now, picture an elite performer, maybe a world-class athlete or a brilliant scientist. They seem totally different, right? But what's the one powerful thing they have in common? Now, your first guess is probably raw talent, or maybe amazing genetics. And look, sure, those things can play a part, but that's not the real secret here. Nope, it's something much deeper, something that anyone can actually build on purpose.
Turns out, the common link is a specific piece of hardware inside their skulls. We are talking about a real physical advantage, a part of the brain that, because of the choices they've made, has become measurably bigger and stronger than in the average person.
So what is this secret hardware? This is the engine behind what we call grit, or resilience. Let's get into the science and meet the hero of our story today, your brain's very own dedicated willpower center.
Okay, get ready for it. It's called the Anterior Mid-Cingulate Cortex. Yeah, it's a mouthful, I know, so let's just call it the AMCC. But what it does is so cool. This is the part of your brain that lights up when every fiber of your being wants to quit, but you decide to push forward anyway. It's what creates that drive to overcome a challenge.
And this right here is the absolute game changer. The size of your AMC isn't set in stone. The best way, the most accurate way to think about it is to picture it as a muscle. And you know what happens with muscles, right? They get stronger when you work them out. This brings us to this core idea we'll call the discomfort growth principle. It's all about how deliberately pushing against your brain's desire for comfort can physically change it for the better.
So this really comes down to a choice we all make, all day, every day. See, our brains are wired to be lazy, basically, to save energy. That's the easy path. And every time we take it, scrolling on our phone instead of doing the dishes, our AMC gets a little weaker. It atrophies. But when we choose the hard path, when we do the thing we don't feel like doing, that part of our brain literally expands. It gets bigger.
This really brings us to the core of it, and it's summed up perfectly by this quote from the source material. I mean, wow. It's so direct, isn't it? The way you trigger this growth in your brain is by voluntarily doing things you'd really rather not do. All right, so we've got the what and the why. Now let's get to the how. Let's look at the AMC protocol itself, which is basically just a simple workout for your willpower. And you're gonna love this. The actual protocol is so simple. It's just 2 steps. First, you identify something you really don't want to do, something you put off. And it doesn't have to be huge. It can be as small as taking a 30-second cold shower or finally making that phone call you've been dreading. And second, and this is where the magic is, you voluntarily choose to just do it.
But listen up, because this is probably the most important part. The growth only happens if the effort is voluntary. Being forced into a tough situation, your boss dumps a project on you or you get a flat tire, that doesn't count. It's the act of generating your own internal force to overcome your own resistance that strengthens the AMC. You have to be the one to make the call.
So there you have it. That's the science and the strategy. And this isn't about making your life miserable. Not at all. It's about strategically picking some small battles you can win every single day. Consciously choosing your hard path to build a brain that's just more resilient.
Okay, so let's just recap the big ideas here, all right? First, and most importantly, your willpower is not fixed. It's a skill you can train. Second, the AMCC is the physical spot in your brain where that skill lives. Third, the exercise that makes it grow is voluntary discomfort. And finally, just remember, it's all those small, hard choices that add up over time to build real, lasting resilience.
And that brings us to the final question. And honestly, it's the only one that really matters now. This isn't just some cool bit of neuroscience to know. It's something to put into action. So for the rest of your day today, I want you to ask yourself this one thing. What hard path will you choose?